Hi, and welcome to Geno's Picks. I know 29-31 overall, another 2-2 week, 48% on the year and holding, but we got a big week ahead that's going to spring us into the black, so you can't wait to get to the picks. But first, you know what really grinds my gears, people? As you're sitting around with your loved ones this Christmas around an evergreen tree, realize that that word has been ruined for me. Evergreen is a term in this business that they use for shows like Jersey Shore and Duck Dynasty and Honey Boo Boo and Pawn Stars. You know why? Because they're evergreen. They never get stale. You can watch them today, tomorrow, and in 5 years. Meanwhile, when I go into meetings with 3 different production companies for my show and tell them that I write these picks every week, combining pop culture that goes on recently with current stats into a very entertaining, insightful video, they're like, well, that's not evergreen. We can't use it next week. I'm sorry that I'm so damn good at what I do that when I walk into your office, you don't realize what is sitting in front of you. When Jesus turned the loaves into fish and all that stuff and made the wine at the wedding feast, did they say, now we want something more stale? No. Am I comparing myself to Jesus? Of course not. I'm not a Jew. I'm just a talented son of a bitch. And you people need to try a little harder. Not my viewers. You've been great. And here are 4 winning picks. My first pick, the Redskins are getting 2.5 from the Cowboys in D.C. Wow, despite falling apart in their last 2 games, the Cowboys, believe it or not, are still in complete control of their own future, as a win this week in D.C. and next week when they host Philly would give them the division. But under Jason Garrett, a team that was once feared as the Big D that is Dallas, now has their own Big D to fear, and that's the month of December, where the Cowboys, with Romo under center, are you ready for this? After the past 2 weeks, a woeful 11-17 in the final month of the year. And perhaps the worst loss ever was this past week at Green Bay, when Jason Garrett coached them into a loss. And you think Dallas is going to go into D.C. where Kirk Cousins is playing for a starting job and win? Doubtful. Especially when you consider the Cowboys have tried harder to ruin their future than Lindsay Lohan. And just like her, Dallas can blame this on the stupid redhead in charge. Take the Redskins and the 3 you're getting. My next pick, the Browns are getting 2.5 from the Jets at MetLife Stadium. Wow, what can you say about this kid, Josh Gordon, who is the first NFL player in history ever to have back-to-back 200-plus yard receiving games, and is leading the NFL in receiving yards despite missing the first 2 games of the season, and the fact that he has Brandon Whedon and Jason Campbell throwing him the football. Now, he was suspended for 2 games because he was caught using cough syrup that contained codeine. But I'll tell you someone who would never get caught taking cough syrup, Geno Smith. You know why? Because every week he chokes away wins for the Jets. Here's an amazing stat for you. Geno Smith has 10 TDs on the year and 21 picks. But if that's not bad enough, since week 7, he's only thrown 2 TDs and 10 picks. That means you can expect 5 terrible picks from him every time he throws 1 TD. Wow. The only Jet who averages more bad picks in the course of a weekend, Woody Johnson, every April. Cleveland's D is too good, and I'm loving them getting the points this Sunday. Take the Browns in the 2.5. My next pick, the Panthers, are giving 3.5 to the Saints in Carolina. What a game this promises to be. The Saints are coming off a loss to the rival Rams, and now they have to play outdoors against the Panthers team that, to call them hot, is an absolute understatement. Here's a fun little stat again. Since week 12 of last year, Carolina is 15-5. They're winning 75% of their games, and you know why? Because of this guy, Cam Newton, who after a sophomore slump has been absolutely on fire. His passer rating is over 80, and he has completed over 60% of his passes. The last Panther this famous for his accuracy, Ray Caruth. But unlike Ray Caruth, when it comes to the 2013 season, Cam Newton is all in on this, baby. Take the Panthers, lay the 3. I can't believe that. Which brings me to my Double Your Money Monday night. Eventually, you'll have to double it. The 49ers are giving 13 to the Falcons in the final game ever to be played at Candlestick, at least in the regular season. Well, beware, Seattle fans, because the only legitimate team I think that can go into Seattle and beat you are these 49ers. Now, I know you pummeled them in week 2, 29-3, but this is a different team that's coming together at just the right time. I don't have to tell you about that, right, Giants boy? Michael Crabtree is back. That makes Colin Kaepernick more confident throwing to him, as well as Anquan Bolden, Vernon Davis, dishing it off to Frank Gore and Kendall Hunter. Meanwhile, you know who's having a monster season for the Falcons that's going to keep this one close? Nobody. They're done. They stink. This may be the final game played at Candlestick, but it certainly looks like there's going to be 2 demolitions there in the upcoming months. By the end of this game, the Falcons will be screaming for mercy as they yell, "Stop pummeling us, Colin. Kaepernicker, please." Just take the Niners, lay the 13, have a Merry Christmas. I'm so angry in that rant.